Hi guys, and welcome to Angling For You, and today join me at the fantastic super red hot Nethermill fishery in towards Barnsley way. Now we've got a little challenge video today. So in front of me I've got an array of Bait Tech items. Now Bait Tech's a company that I've dabbled bits and bops, maybe mainly the Special G across the years with good success. Again, I've used other brands and things like that, but we've got some stuff to try. I've put myself a little challenge together and we're going to see how we get on. So I'm going to quickly go through what we've got and then how I'm going to put the challenge together. So I've got 3 different types of ground bait. Now I've picked this venue because we're allowed to use pellets, your own pellets. Like a lot of venues we can't, and some venues we can't use ground bait, so this one we're allowed, so do check the rules if you're going to try the challenge. So we've got 3 method mixers. This one's a sweet coconut, this one is a krill and tuna, which I've got my eyes on, and the other one is a tiger and peanut. So that's one part of the challenge which we'll go into. Next one is the Special G range. Loads of people have great results on the Special G. I've had some great paste days on it, and this one's their margin mix, so that's another one that we've got to look at. And then we've got 2 Special Gs. We've got the green and we've got the more natural coloured one, and these are the paste options. Then we've got some pellets, some micras. These are the Sticky Method pellets, and we've got a plain, this looks like just a standard big carp Sticky Method natural. This one we've got the red ones, and then this one we've got like a betaine green kind of colour. And along with those we've got some little 5 mil wafters. These are great, these little wafter hook baits. We've got a Fruity Frenzy, 5 mils like I said. This one is a pellet flavour. This one is a mulberry flavour, which smells the best out of them all, I'll be honest. This one's a white chocolate. This one is a tangy pineapple, and this one is a mega meat. Now I'm a big fan of colour more than flavour, but they all do smell great, so we'll give them that a chance. And now the way I'm going to do it, so what I've done is a few different categories. I've got a method mix, which is the 3 that are here, so I'm just going to fold that one up and put that in the bucket of dreams. I've got a paste mix, I've got a pellet, and I've got a margin mix. And what we're going to do is they're going to go in there. We're going to pick one of them out at random, and that's what we're going to fish with. Now I've got obviously the hookables. If we pick pellets, we pick method, anything to do with a feeder, we're going to be able to use the wafters. If not, I've got corn to go with that, and if obviously you pick paste and you find don't want these ones to flow away. So with that I've got a few different types. Now the only ones we're going to have to potentially redraw is just the one where it's a feeder option, and that's if we pull paste along with a feeder, because we can't really do that, but we'll go with it. So we've got an island feeder, we've got a margin feeder, we've got a margin pole, so that could be fishing it with the method mix, it could be fishing it with the paste, it could be fishing it with the pellets, that could be any one of those. And we've got a short pole, so that could be again any of those. It could be fishing through the water, I can choose a method on that, and then a long pole. So we've got an island behind us and we've got margins, and it seems like a nice little peg, never fished it before. So the challenge part of it is really, I'm not going to set a certain amount of fish, I'm not going to really set a time, we're just enjoying ourselves. So today it's about just having a few fish on that different method and then changing it, redrawing, and see what we can draw on the next time. So I'm just going to put that there so it doesn't blow away. I'm going to shake the bucket of dreams and turn my eyes away because all of you will be saying I'm cheating. So let's have a look. That's the first one we've got, so I'll pull that out, and that is margin mix. So the ideal would be to have a pole mix where we can fish that over it. If we end up pulling it on the method, we'll try it on the method. Simple as that. So I'm just going to take those ones out and add these ones in. There we go. So put them ones in, give that a shake, let's see how good or bad that's going to be. Let's pick one at random. Sharp pole, so that's actually worked out pretty good. So what I'm going to do is leave those ones in there, and I might as well put them all in there, and we'll just have to sort them out a bit later on. So the first one is margin mix, and it is a sharp pole, so it's not down the edge, it's in front of us. So let's get some of this bad boy made up. Let's get the rigs sorted out and see how we go. Right guys, so we are sat on the box ready to go. It is quite a deep peg this, and obviously not ideal to be fishing on the deck, but we are in a bit of shaded water. Fingers crossed we can have some. So what we've done is fed a few balls of the margin mix. It is on the deck. We've left it around 5-10 minutes. Got a very minimal amount of corn down with it, so it's just got a little bit of something. We've mixed it over wet. It does smell absolutely mega. It's quite hempy in smell. And what we're going to do is just going to see how things go. I'm going to put a little ball in as we start, and then we'll see how the fishing progresses. At some point we'll go through the rig, but I will say it's a 015 down to an 013 bottom, 16 hook. As you can see, it's quite a deep rig, strung out bulk. Should be good. Let's cross his fingers and hope for the best. Just going to lower the rig in. I could use a bit slightly bigger float. I've just gone for a small carp float. You could use a longer stemmed, thinner bristled float, but you know, might have to put a little bit of a back shot on, I think, because we are got a little bit of water inflow to my left. Oh, straight in, and it's putting a bit of toe on the float, but we're straight into a small fish to start the day. Nice little roach. Don't quite know how we got that piece of corn in his mouth, but straight away that's attracted the fish straight in. It's a beautiful little roach. Let's put him back. What I'm going to do is just take one of the shot off the bottom of the rig, and we're going to put on one just behind the float as a back shot, just because we're getting a little bit of toe. Just going to put another small piece of corn. I don't think I'm going to feed on this one, as soon as it's been, we've put a few balls down there. I'm just going to get straight back on it and see if there's any more down there. But good start. It's attracted straight away, and the good thing also is to filming on this particular venue, apart from being able to use your own baits, is that it's not a commercial. It's got carp, it's got F1s, but it's got a mixture of other fish in here, and for me that's good, because you can catch a mixed bag of fish. As soon as I hit the bottom, into another roach. Superb. And he absolutely wanted it, that one. There we go. Hook is back. Straight away, that fish are waiting for that bait. That's why I didn't feed anymore. I don't want to make it so then there's too much bait there. I want them to be attracted, and you've got to be aware that in the summer, and they'll eat it pretty sharpish because they're hungry. But also, if the bigger fish move in, you'll have to feed probably a little bit more regularly. But to start off with, I'm just gonna get a little bit of reed on there. There we go. Just line yourself up with that marker. I've got on the end of my elbow. And when you've got a long rig, don't just throw it in, just lower it in nice and slow. The reason you're doing that is it keeps it all from tangling up, and then it'll settle, and as soon as it settled last time, it sailed away. Into another fish. This one seems a little bit better. Might be an F1. Not took them too long to get onto the bait. I'll be a little bit careful around here because it is quite a pokey peg. No long little line. Oh, nearly got you. And a little bit left one. And this is really the thing with this venue. It's you don't know what you're gonna hook from fish to fish. Beautiful F1. Let go of the hook in the net. Let's get him back in the water and continue. Like I say, we're not going to absolutely dwell on different areas all day long. We're going to move around, otherwise it'll be an exceptionally long video from bit to bit. So we'll see what else is down there. But it doesn't mean that we can't keep dropping on. And on the pleasure session, obviously I will able to have done my filming, drop on any of these areas and catch later on in the day. So that's what it's about. I'm just going to drop another number 9 on there. Just needs a little bit more shine. And it's important. One of my biggest things is when I watch people fish is that they have such a bristle on the float. You want to dot your float down, not always to the most minimum you can possibly get, but you do want it dotted down because those fast little tap bites, you won't see them if you've got a massive bristle out of the water, and that can lead to actual missed bites and missed fish when you not have it dotted down enough. You've got to remember, if you shot your float and you got whatever amount of bristle out in the water, whatever you do with your shotting, if it doesn't look like it does when it's on its plummet, then you're not going to be fishing the same depth that you've plumbed to. So there's a little bit of thought process there for you. So what I mean by that is, if you've got 4 mil of the bristle out when you've put your shot on it, but when you plumbed it in you've got 2 mil, and you're fishing 2 mil under what you did when you plumbed it. There we go. And again, such a quick bite. You just got to be ready for them. This feels like a crucian. Oh, we're beautiful little crucian. Can't beat a crucian. They are the most beautiful looking fish, and they absolutely love sweet corn. Now that, in the sunshine, is what it's all about. Now I can't even imagine when I've watched those days when the old John Wilson films, or Matt Hayes as well has had it, where they've caught them like 3-4 pound crucians. That must be a dream. I think the biggest crucian I have had, maybe a couple of pound, and that were absolutely awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to have one more fish, and then we're going to have a look at what we draw on that next round. Now what I will say is, we're going to take out the margin mixture, and we're going to take out the short pole, just so we get a chance at getting the other different methods. We don't know what kind of way around we're going to get them in, but just so we have a chance. Now I will say I've only done small quantities of bait up. As you can see, I've only got a small bit on my tray, plus a couple of balls to ball in. I'm not about to wasting the bait I've got Glyn and Matt as well that are with me, which I'll be using some as well. Not a big one for mixing loads of bait up and wasting it, but we are going to be here till 7 o'clock. It's currently about 2:30, so we have got plenty of time. And this ground bait's lovely to mix, lovely and fluffy, smells great if you're a fish, and seems to just attract them straight away, you know, that they're there straight away. And we've had roach, we've had F1s, and we've had crucians already. So that to me is what it's all about. When you fish these kind of venues, you put your bait on and you don't know what you're going to catch. I love that. Just it's so good when you can do that. Just no idea what you're going to catch, and just great. See that floats dotted right down. Any of those little taps like that we see on it, you can hit them early. Certainly when you're winter fishing as well, it's even more important, and F1 fishing in winter, you do need to dot those floats down. I'm just seeing that little back shot stops that toe on the water. So allows me to hold that floating position. There we go. Lovely bite. That's got to be another F1. Lovely job. It's a nice one to finish this part. Beautiful. Here he is. It's lovely. F1. That's had a lovely little F1 to finish this first part. Has he given me the hook? He has given me the hook as well. Let's just put that on the top kit. And then we can put that one behind us and hold him up for the old camera and get him back, 'cause it's warm out here, but luckily we're in a little bit of shade, so there we go. Easy tiger, come on. For the camera, for the camera, for the camera, son. Come on. There we go. So beautiful little F1 to finish this part. Let's get back to the bucket of dreams and pick out what the next part of the challenge is going to be. Margin, ground bait, tick. Let's see what's next. Right guys, so in my hand here we've got the different methods that are left, and in here we've got the baits, three that remain. So there's a pellet, a method mix, and a paste mix. So unless we draw paste and feeder, that's the only combination we can't do. The other two have been taken out, so we can't have short pole again, and we can't have method mix because we've done that one. So without looking, let's have a look. We've got, getting flies all around my head. So we have got method mix. So this is an interesting one. So method mix it is. So I'm just gonna fold that one and put that to the side of me with the other two out the way. And then we've got the remaining different options. So shake that up. Island feeder, so that is a good option. So island feeder it is. I'll put that one back down there, and then we can get rid of that with the method mix. Them two can stay in there for the next draw. Right, method mix and island, let's get it. We're going to need to try. There's 3 different types, so what we'll do is we'll decide which one of the 3. I think, you know, I'm going to go for a krill. A krill or coconut, I don't know. I'm going to have a look and we'll get back. Right guys, so we have picked the method mix and the island. Now, I've gone with, this is a Big Carp Method mix, this is sweet coconut. I've just gone with this sweet coconut, and I just think it's a perfect kind. Well, there's F1s, there's Crucians, there's Barbel. It just smells amazing. I can't tell you how good it smells. But this has got loads and loads of particles in it. Now, 2 kilo bag, you get absolutely loads. I've done a bit for me and I've done a bit for Matt as well, so there's quite, and there's enough to fill 3 of these sort of one pint bait tubs. And you can, I don't know if you can see there, there's loads of particle, loads of flecks of maize in there, hemp in there, and it just smells absolutely lovely. Now, bait selection. I'm not going to use corn, of course, because we're here to test some bait tech stuff. So there's a selection of these, like I showed you at the start. 5 millis, sausage, white chocolate. I've got the mulberry on, which is the purple. I'm going to start with that. I like bright colours, but then I've equally a good chance of moving on to these two, which is a Fruity Frenzy orange and a tangy pineapple, because I just love the fluorescent colours of this. Unfortunately, as always, I'm getting pestered by absolute ravenous amount of birds. No one in the entirety of the pond is getting birds, but they're right in front of me every second and right where I want to cast. So I have to wait a couple of seconds until they decide that they want to vacate exactly where I want to cast. But we've got the, as you can see, the little purple wafter on there. It looks like quite a large method, and it is, well, it's a banjo, but it isn't heavy. It's only a 20 grammer, and I have it because it's flat and wide, and you get a nice amount of bait on it. And that's pretty much why I go with it. I don't fish the method, the actual method, loads. I do prefer a banjo style feeder. That's just how I fish. I do have it on sometimes. I do like to have it when I fish short at Lindome with the dead reds. I think I'd prefer the method for that. We're just gonna press that on. Got a nice little pack of bait, and I haven't made any casts yet. And I might be leaving it in sort of a minute and a half to get going. So I want to get some bait into there and get some fish feeding. So you could underarm cast it, but for accuracy I'm going to do the overhead cast so I can get that close to where I want it to go. And we sort of tucked in that little, like a little alcove. There's an overhanging bush there. It's a bit of a precarious cast, but fingers crossed we can have a few fish anyway. Like I said, I'll be moving in and out of baits, try different colours. I'm a big believer, like I said at the start, of the more coloured than the flavoured of the baits. I think, I mean, you don't know, it's all confidence, but visually I like something with a good colour on it. I think it's funky, and I think overall, confidence wise, I get better results. So a lot of the time I use pink, I use orange, use yellow and use white. They're my usually 4 go-to colours, which is probably similar to a lot of you guys watching now. And I've tried various different wafters, and you know, I seem to do better on the coloured ones. And these are like a washed out sort of pastel colour. These different wafters that we've got from Bait Tech today. I mean, you can see there it is almost like it is almost like a piece of chalk in its texture and colour. They're got a nice texture. They're not bullet hard. They've got a little bit of softness to them. Not ridiculous, but I put them on with the old baiting tool rather than by hand. But they also do them in different hookable pellets as well. So it is quite a diverse thing. So if you do find that you do good on a certain colour, you know, you could try that on a hookable pellet and you know, fish it in shallow water or through the water. And I do like to use, as you've seen in other videos, wafters for mugging. I think they're great for mugging. Again, it's about that colour and that slow fall through the water. I think you can just drop them on the nose and they fall slow. The amount of fish I've caught of that, we're doing that with a wafter, is silly. And I know quite a lot of other people that use them as well, but both on the wag and on the pole. Right, we're into the first fish. We changed over to a yellow wafter, which sort of seems to do most of my trick. And we've got ourselves a little F1. And he's in the net. That did not take long at all. Oh, and he's even give us that uplink back with that little yellow wafter on it there. We'll put that there a second and grab hold of him. Beautiful little F1. Perfect condition as you expect at Nevermill Fishery. Let's get that feeder back in action again. So, off the mark. Like I said, it did not take very long. It's not surprising, to be honest. It's lovely and warm, that being shallow water. Lovely bright bait and lovely sweet ground bait. Now, I did put the mulberry on and I had 2 or 3 casts. I just felt like the yellow, I've done well in the past on yellow and sweet and scalepex, and that's just where I went. So it's quite sweet anyway with a pineapple. Just fishing it tight to that corner of that island. And straight in again on the, as soon as it hit the water. Sometimes you find that the case, that attractive noise, if you go in it in once they sort of get an idea on it. It's a lovely little F1 that is. Beautiful little yellow wafter in the corner of its mouth. Let's tick that. That's a lovely fish, this one. Definitely the biggest so far today. And I think he's I thought we'd spit me wafter then, but he's still hooked. Perfectly hooked in the corner of the mouth. Try and hook that onto something. Dear me. There we go. When you don't want it to hook on something, it hooks on everything. And you want it to hook on something, it never does. That's a beautiful little F1. See if we can have a 1 or 2 more, and then we'll draw the next hat. I must say I really do like the flavour and the sort of smell and the way that they mix up these ground baits. They're really good. The older yellow seems to be doing the trick. Such an impactful colour in this high vis yellow as well. It's such a bright colour. Seems to work perfect. And if I got that sort of krilly one, then I'd probably have like that sausagey meat kind of flavoured one, or maybe the orange. Perfect. It's just quick and easy to go. Get that little corner bit, dodge the tree behind me. Nice little drop in there. We're going to have to do another cast. It just caught the tree. We're so close to going in. Perfect. And what I say is, you're always going to make a bad cast. Just don't sit there and think, oh, it'll do. Get back in, fill your feeder, and recast it. That's how you get consistency. Everyone's going to mess up a cast now and then. Better to get it right get it in the area that you've been feeding than to just sit and wait in a place where there's no feed. And that's exactly the same place as where we were before. These are precarious casts behind me because it's short. We've obviously got the bushes. It is probably an underarm cast, but to make sure we're accurate and we're getting it exactly where we need it, we've just got enough distance to get that old click down and on the clip. Into a bite straight away. This is what I was saying about getting the right spot. If you cast in the wrong spot, just get back in the right spot. And a little left one. We'll try for another, and then we'll get that next one pulled out and see what we get next. Again, up perfectly in that top lip. The little top tip is when you're handling feistier fish, like F1s tend to be quite feisty. Ide is a good example of that as well. And sometimes skimmers, because they're slimy, grab them through the net. That way you get a little bit more grip, you're not hurting the fish. And certainly if you're in a match environment where you want to get in and out quicker, you're not chasing around your net. It just makes your swings a little easier. And I think the important thing is to take in at this time of year as well, so you're not leaving it in there for a stupid amount of time. You need to be regular feeding. I've been watching people to my left, straight on, to my right, they've all gone now, but I've been watching them not really catching anything, the odd fish, and it comes down to not what they've got on the hook. It just comes down to, well, accuracy of casting. They are a bit left and right, but the amount of times the cast there's nothing wrong with people sat in a deck chair having minimal stuff, absolutely not, especially when it's hot like this and you have to walk around a pond. But you will have to, if you want to catch, feed this time, especially this time of year. You need to be making that cast. You need to be in your head thinking, right, it's a minute, 2 minutes, I need to bring that in, and I need to get some more feed out there. It's only a small little feeder, you'll eat that in seconds, and especially if you're not a very consistent caster and it's over a wider area, it'll soon dissipate. And if you want to ring the bell, you need to be casting frequently. None of my casts I've left in more than 2 minutes, unless if I feel like there's been a decent touch or there's been a good liner, then I'll get it out and I'll get it back in with some new bait on it. And a lot of the times you do that, it lands and they're straight on it. And of course your hook bait is the only source of real feed there, and bang, you're on and you're away. So look now, it's been in over a minute and a bit. We're bringing it back in. I'm going to re-put some bait on. I've seen today people sit 30-40 minutes with no bites and no recasts. It's just crazy. And I'm all for people having a leisurely fish, but if you want to catch, you gotta do it. Sorry guys, there is a little bramble, and it's literally on the land zone, and you need to be a millimetre to the left or right of it. I'm hitting the same spot every time, but sometimes when the little bramble floats across or blows across, you can't really do it about it. You just need a little swim out there and get it snipped. But there you go, look, there's the exact example that I was talking to you about. If you keep that feed going in, that's where you're going to have those fish. Perfect example there. At F1, we had it in for a minute or so, no bites, recast, and it's there on that bait. And that's just exactly what I mean. You've just got to be ringing that bell, and that goes for most commercial fisheries. That is it's certainly in the summer. If you're not feeding, and the next peg is going to take your fish, or she's going to take your fish, and that is how it goes, I'm afraid. So let's have a look at this little F1 to finish this little bit. There he is, beautiful. Let's get him back and draw what we've got next in the next part of the challenge. Right, boys and girls, so let's see the next method of choice. Shaky. Long pole actually is pretty decent. I'm happy with that because we've already been feeding over there. So there's two more. One's a margin and one's a margin feeder, so I'm just going to stick those out the way, and I'm just going to put the remaining two. So it's either going to be long pole on feeding the micras and fishing corn over it, or it's going to be long pole paste, which could be interesting. Let's have a gander. What are we doing? Long pole pellet or long pole paste? We got one? Yep. Ooh, long pole pellet. Now you can't see that from here, but it is long pole pellet. It's an interesting option. So we've got two more, which is a margin feeder and a margin, just margin, and then we know it's going to be paste on the last one. So that's going to be interesting. So on the if it basically is going to be, the next one's going to be the margin paste. Or what we'll have to do is take paste out. If we pull the feeder and the margin feeder next, what I'll do is I'll put pellet or method in there so we can fish it, and then we know that the paste will be on the margin at the end. So let's get some pellets soaked, get back over there, let's get it fed up, and hopefully we'll do some damage over that side. Right guys, so we're ready to fish to the island with the pellets. Now, we've gone for the green variety of the sticky pellets. As you can see, if you squeeze them, they go together perfectly and they crumble them back down, and just really easy to do. The guide on the bag is just cover 2 minutes, leave for 10, and you get these perfect pellets. Predominantly used on the different feeders, which it does show on the old bag. And the normal method, a pellet like horseshoe feeder, and an old school method. Now they are like the say on the bag, sticky pellets, so it's primarily for that feeder, that kind of orientation, but you know, we're gonna feed it and fish over the top of it. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to fish a wafter on the hook bait. I'm going for a yellow, and what we've done is we've put a little shot right down against the top of the uplink to make that wafter sink straight down, and that's how we're going to fish it. It'll fall slower than the pellet, but that little bit of shot will just take it down to the bottom so it's not up in the water, and be able to catch on it. Now it's only about 2 foot out there, so not too bad, but it is a bit brambly and a bit pokey, but if we go to the right of it we should be about all right. So I've potted it in, and we're just gonna drop on top of that area. Alright, we've hooked into one now, guys. Guide him straight out of there. And the old yellow wafter. Going all the way back to the peg. There we go. There's like a little F1. It is. It's just so attractive, them, yet those little wafters and those pellets just working straight away. That's a lovely little fish. It's like a little rugby ball F1. Let's get him unhooked. Where's he hooked? Oh, he's absolutely had that. Straight down. There we go. There's a lovely little rugby ball F1. See if he'll behave himself. It's a lovely little rugby ball F1. Beautiful in the sunshine. Let's get him back. Let's see if we can find his big brother. It just works. Where's that towel? It just works perfectly. Just putting that little bit of shot down the line. Just works perfectly above that uplink to sink that wafter down. And a lot of people think you can't fish wafters on the deck, and there's the proof that you can. Let's get him back out. Just topped up with pellets, so it's that time in the afternoon now where we need to be putting the pellets on. Every time we go in, to make sure that we're getting that feed in there. There we go. Perfectly. Right on the top. Another one, guys. Nice fast bite again. Like another nice little F1. Oh, it is. just foul up to himself. That's why he's fighting so crazy. There he is in the net. They all count, but we prefer not to hook them under the chin. That is for sure. Oh my God. There we go. Right boys, we're going to try one more fish. Might change the old wafter as well. Let's try a different colour. See what that does. Oh hell no, don't do wasps. Let's get him dunked in that water, that wasp. Don't do wasps, not at all. So let's have a look. Let's try an orange frenzy. See what that one's like. If we have any joy with that. Do I like an orange colour? Might need the old tool because I've got wet fingers. Not doing very well today. Orange we go. Put the lid back on this yellow one. And this one is Fruity Frenzy. Let's see if there's anything that likes a Fruity Frenzy. More pellets in the pot. And it does work well with these wafters, just having that, like I said, just having the little single shot just behind the hook link sinks it down. Go have a short hook link, of course. I'm fishing in shallow water, so the hook link's only about 4 inches. Into another one, guys. This one is going straight on island mode. Trying to get into that island. This one's on an orange one. Take a nice little left one. What was it? And a pretty good account of himself, this one. Amazing. Bit of underwater netting. And the orange. A little waft of this time. Oh. There we go, let's put that one back as we're ready for the next challenge. That's a lovely one. Again, to finish this challenge. A lovely fish to finish this bit of challenge. Let's get him back in. Right, let's find the bucket of dreams and get back and see what is next on the list. Right guys, so we know that the last one we've got is paste, so we know that. So in here is the margin pole, or it's a feeder down the edge. Now this feeder down the edge we're going to have to draw whether that's a method or a pellet, or we'll finish on fishing the paste down the edge, with fingers crossed that we do pull the pole down the edge, because when do I not like to do paste? So without further ado, let's have a look in here, and boom shakalaka, margin pole. We have got the margin pole, so we are going to be doing that one. And just to make sure, the last one in there is margin feeder, and that is in there as well. So we've done pretty good, to be honest, on the old drawing today. But what we're going to do now is quickly mix up some paste, and then fingers crossed we can have a few down the edge. Right guys, the final part. We started off short on margin mix with corn, caught well on that. We went over to a method feeder mix with wafters, caught well on that across to the island. Then we went back over there with the sticky pellets with the wafters and caught well on there. And now the last part of the Bait Tech challenge is paste down the margin. So we're using the Special G. We're going to go with a green. I've used it before in the past. It's so silky smooth, it's so smooth of a paste to use. Now you know I've been using other baits which have got on really well with paste, so it will be interesting to see how we get on with the Special G. Now I used to fish this at Candy Corner because that's what he sells there, and they're usually quite used to it, so they do tend to do well on it. So I have had a little bit of experience with it. I've mixed it up nice and soft, and we've got lovely nice and soft, not over wetted like I sometimes fish. With it being down the margins, I tend to have it in between super soft and hookable, and I do that because sometimes you get fish down there and I don't want anything getting knocked. It's a really shady peg. I've got to sort of go over and through the reeds to get to where I need to be, so fingers crossed we can actually hook and get some of them out. We've got the gear for it. I'm not expecting carp. I mean, I don't think we're on the right side of the pond to catch carp today. I think I haven't even seen any, if I'm honest. I think they're all up the lily pads, which were rammed full of people, as you'd imagine. Now what I will do is I will fish some of these baits at other places, like the paste mix we can do at places like Candy Corner or Lindholm, and give it a good old test on there for the bigger fish. I'm gonna feed, and I don't normally do this, but seeing as we're on the Bait Tech challenge type kind of day, I'm going to use the micras as the feed. I normally go with a 6mm hard pellet or a 4mm, depending on what I'm actually looking for fish wise. Normal, get a good old piece, flatten it down, mould the paste round it and sit it in the top, and always tip the same way as where your line goes over, otherwise that's where you get your tangles. So I've got top 2 and 1. I'm gonna have to go over the top of this. I'm just gonna have a look before I do that, whether I'm gonna have to slide this further down so it doesn't wrap over the top. So that looks like it's gonna do, so I might have to slide this further down to stop that from happening. So we definitely don't need that hassle. That's better. Like I say, it's going to be a precarious little shufty over the top and down. But if we can get it in, we should be able to get some bites, fingers crossed. We just about see the float. Reeds are quite thick. We've got space to strike just straight up. And you can always stand out and steer if we do hook anything of size, which, like I said, I can't say I'm expecting to do today. Right guys, we've hooked something from down the edge, not very big, but it is a paste fish. It's like a crucian, yes it is. Come on the crucian. Never be a bad day catching a crucian. Got to love a crucian. What a beautiful, beautiful fish. Second one of the day, and absolutely beautiful. I definitely wouldn't mind a 2 or 3 pound one of them. That'd be a dream fish, that would be. A bit more of those pelitos in there. And a bit more paste it, and we'll get back out there. See if there's anything else willing to play a ball. Hopefully there is. There we go. That's something a little bit better. Like an F1 or something. Oh, it's a barbel. Come on, you barbel. He's only a baby, but it's a barbel, boys. We do love a barbel. He's not happy about it, but look at that beautiful little barbel. It's getting back in there. Just proves that barbel do like paste, and I've caught plenty of barbel on strip at Lindholm on paste. Some big ones as well, up to like £5. I've caught them at Oak Tree Fishery as well, on the old paste. Nice to see there's some of them down there though. Do love a barbel. Let's be honest, in fishing, who doesn't love a barbel? Not many people, I assure you. Not many people. guys up to another fish. It feels like another crucian. Be a nice one to end on if it was. It's like that. Could be. It's a baby crucian, but nevertheless a bar of gold. Beautiful little fish to end on. Look at that little bar of gold. So guys, it's been a lovely little day, catching on loads of different methods and loads of different baits. Let's hook this up. There we go. And what can I say? Just fantastic products. I mean, there's a lot of good bait companies out there, and Bait Tech are where they are because people obviously have confidence in what they buy from them. If they didn't, they wouldn't, and they wouldn't be as popular as what they are now. So definitely worth a try. There's going to be more videos on this. We can go big carp hunting with the paste, and we can go method feeding on a little bit more of a distant island with a bit more bigger fish in there and try that out. But it's been a superb day, and it's always fantastic at Nevermill Fisheries. So definitely go on online and have a look at what other options they have on to buy. There's a mega amount of stuff that are perfect for commercial fisheries and also natural fisheries as well. So thank you very much to the guys at Nevermill as always for letting us film. And if you want to see any other videos or challenge videos or unboxings, then go on to Angling For You YouTube and onto the playlist. And if you want to come on the Facebook group at 9,500, we've got lots of new members joining, and then jump on there and go on members days, post your photos, ask questions. And if you want to go onto Instagram, it's angling_for_you at Instagram, and you can join us on there and post your photos, see what we're up to, and hopefully enjoy seeing what we're doing day to day. Be careful if you're going out, it's going to be red hot weather, so just be careful and make sure you get that suntan cream on. And until the next one guys, thank you very much for watching. Tight lines.